Welcome to the Panic Button. I'm Nina. So, do you recognize this fella right here? Well, this spicy little cupcake has gotten himself into a little bit of a scandal. If you don't recognize this fella right here, he's a trans woman who is very popular on TikTok for going around eating at restaurants and waiting for waitresses and waiters to misgender him. And then he complains about it. I saw this on X. It had said, could trans woman influencer Lily, his name is Lily, be a predator? Listen to this and tell me your thoughts. So we're going to listen and tell her my thoughts. Tell him you get it.
Making this video for weeks now because
wasn't expecting that voice with that face.
I was just trying to rack in my head whether I was overreacting or not, but I felt so weird in the moment. And I still feel really weird about it. And if I could save one person who may be a victim in the future, that'd be great with me. A few weeks ago, Lillytino tried to coerce me into having sex with her using her status as a trans influencer with my wife sitting right next to me. I was first introduced to Lily by my wife.
Wife. This is a trans woman, and he is a wife. Is the wife a trans woman, or is the wife a biological woman? It makes a little bit of a difference.
And my wife, who was a member of our Discord server, and she would always tell me about all the hate Lily would get. And I eventually just had a soft spot and he was like, hey, let me contact Lily because I understand how bad it can feel.
That was a bad idea. See, there are men like this who go out into the world and transition, and they think they're beautiful, brave women, and they use their trans status in order to make people bow down to them in a sense, make them feel bad for them, for going through the struggle. So these men who don't have good intentions will use these people who feel bad for them, and they'll be able to get away with it because they're using these individuals' sympathy or empathy against them. A lot of women do that, and unfortunately, this trans person has fallen into the trap as well.
To have the hate mob on you as a trans influencer. And then cut to a few weeks ago, Lily messaged me with the idea of, do you want to go on a work trip with me to Las Vegas? And I tell her immediately no, because I'm on a Canadian work permit. And the moment I leave Canada, it goes null and void. It's not good anymore. But then we hopped on a Discord video chat, and she was still really insistent on wanting me to get to the US ASAP so we could meet together.
Okay. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of those little girls who get entrapped by guys on the internet who they think are younger than they actually are. And then they go to meet those guys, and then those guys kidnap them. I've heard a lot of stories like that. I've seen a lot of stories like that. This kind of reminds me of it because they start off very, very nice and friendly, but then they get insistent. They start to put on the pressure. And when they're doing it to someone who has a soft spot in their heart for someone they view as a victim, they get away with it a lot of the time. That's why a lot of male predators go after such young women, because they're easily controllable. They're easy to push, to get them to do what they want them to do. And this seems like a prime example of a predator using his status, using his victim card in order to get what he wants. But why the pressure? Why are you so insistent? Why is he so insistent? That would tip me off immediately that something is fishy. Something has gone awry. Because, I don't know you that well, and now you're asking me to go to this place. I've never hung out with you in person before. I don't really know you as a person. I just feel bad for you. Now you want me to go to Vegas on a work trip. You want me to go to Vegas? What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So if I go to Vegas with you on a work trip, what's the work trip? You're not being very specific. And why so pushy? And the pushiness is the maleness coming out of Lily. That male aggression, that male pushiness that some men have that make women very uncomfortable. That's what he's doing. That's these transgender women. A lot of them have male predator vibes. This is one of them.
She really wanted to know the nitty-gritty of why I couldn't currently come to the US. Meanwhile, I'm just wondering, why is she so urgent about this? Then she just pops out with a bait and switch of, oh, I wanted to actually go to Las Vegas to do OF content together. My wife is sitting literally right next to me. Lily is fully aware of my wife, JC, and how we're together and how we're monogamous. I never hinted to Lily that I was interested in anything like that, and I'm wondering why she assumed I would just agree to it immediately if borders weren't an issue.
Because this doesn't sound like Lily's first rodeo. It sounds like something that Lily has done before. I don't know the guy's real name or else I would use it. So, men like this, who claim to be trans, mind you, before this guy transitioned, he was a drug addict. Okay. Not that being a drug addict is bad, like people have issues, blah, blah, blah. But the fact that he transitioned, like he said in one of his videos that transitioning like saved his life. The drugs didn't work, so now the transitioning will. It is working for him because he's very popular. He gets to be around kids, do kid content, and pressure people into doing OnlyFans content with him in Vegas when they have a monogamous partner. This guy sounds like a... First of all, I knew when I first saw this fella that he was a creep. Automatic predator vibes. Anyone who has been anywhere near predators gets a predator vibe from this guy. And if they don't get predator vibes, then there's something going on in here that is blocking that sense of alarm. But maybe that's because this is a biological male. He doesn't sense that. I don't know. I don't know why people are stupid. I don't know why people just don't get the hint that this guy's a creep. You know? Like, people will defend these fellas. Like Eben Preach defended Chris Tyson, right? Saying, oh, she's just a trans woman. You're going to see trans women all over the place. So you might as well just get used to seeing her as a trans woman and being in Mr. Beast videos. Come to find out, he's which everyone called, aside from the retards on the left, the progressive woke activists. So yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah.
Because no, I would not have agreed to that under any circumstances. We didn't have that kind of relationship at all, me and Lily. So after our call, I'm just sitting there very exhausted, wondering, why do I feel so bothered right now? And I think about it over and over and over again.
It's called grooming. This feels kind of like a grooming situation, or like a sprinkle of groomage, because of when you have watched a lot of investigation discovery, a lot of crime podcasts, stuff like that. A lot of women do. But you will notice if you watch those a lot or have experience around bad people, you'll notice patterns that predators have. The look that they have, the way that they act, the way that they talk, things like that, their actions. And you'll be able to pick these people out pretty accurately. Unfortunately, a lot of people won't pick out these people that consider themselves transgender because you automatically are blacklisted, called names, whatever. I don't give a shit. You can call me whatever you want. But these people have patterns, and a lot of women see the patterns, notice them. And, well, I just wish more people would call it out. I think that's why a lot of predators these days go underneath the trans umbrella, because it keeps them safe from accusations or, well, anything being called out. Once you're under that trans umbrella, you're safe. Anyone who calls you out is a bigot and a horrible person. They need to be canceled. I mean, this is what predators are doing nowadays, and they're getting away with it. They've been getting away with it, and hopefully one day it will stop. But until then, there will be more victims that will come forward, and hopefully it will stop then. Hopefully there won't be more victims, but unfortunately, because of the cover they receive from retards in this world, they will continue to keep having victims. And that is the sad state of the world right now and what we're living in. And all we can do is call it out.
And I asked JC, did Lily just sexually harass me? Is like, I don't know. Like, if I could get you to imagine this, it's like if you had a coworker and they just randomly ask this to you, that's how it feels. It's very inappropriate. And listen, I have an OF too, and I have plenty of friends that have OFs too. But the thing is, collabs usually don't work this way. There's always a mutual risk.
Has this become a thing, or was this always a thing where trans women were doing OnlyFans and porn and such? I know it is a pattern with a lot of transgender. Well, I thought it was a smaller majority of transgender women, but it seems like more and more transgender women are becoming OnlyFans creators, sex artists. I don't know what you would call it, but what I find really fucked up is that this Lily fella does OnlyFans content and children's content on TikTok. That should bother a shit ton of people. The fact that it doesn't makes me want to vomit all over the place, projectile vomit, exorcist kind of thing, head spinning, at the utter lack of balls and guts and bravery and spines that a lot of people in this world, in this country, have. It's all fucked up. I want to know the people that praise this Lily fella for doing children's content, allowing children to watch his content, when it is just a gateway to get these kids to watch his OnlyFans content. And if you think that's a stretch, you haven't been living long enough to experience the utter disgustingness some people have within themselves. Evil.
Mutual respect there. And they both already know before the pitch even happens that both parties are even open to a collab. I never did a collab with another trans influencer, so I don't know why she would even get that idea. But
it's kind of crazy how this went from I'm being a victim to, well, I'm a creator too, and this other creator was asking me to collaborate on sex stuff. That's kind of a sticky situation, because if you are a OnlyFans creator and another OnlyFans creator asks you to do OnlyFans content, then wouldn't that be similar to a YouTube creator asking another YouTube creator to do content together? I'm not really sure. I've never been in the sex industry, so I don't know, but I'm just asking because I don't know the ins and outs of it. And I'm sure other people have a better idea than I do. But this took a turn somewhere, and now I'm not so sure if this trans person is a victim. I would say no, but Lily's still a predator. Lily's still a bad person. This isn't Lily's first rodeo. Mr. Lily is going to keep on doing these horrible things and getting away with it. I mean, when he's talking about cutting off his nuts in front of a phone that is filming him at a children's theme park around children, that doesn't give you the upchuck feeling, not at all. No, because it should. And this guy and Jeffrey Marsh and all these trans women who have been coming out within the past, 5 years or so, we're going to find out that a lot of them didn't have such good intentions. And were actually just evil men who used a loophole that other people let them use in order to get away with doing horrible things and having victims. Like and subscribe, and take care of yourself and each other.